Question number 1, part A. We have evaluate 3, 1 over 6 minus 2, 3 over 5. So as you can see, we have whole numbers in front of the fraction for these two. So the first step to do is to expand the fractions for both. So how do you do this? You will do 3 times 6, which is 18, plus 1, 19. So 1 over 6 becomes 3 times 6 plus 1 is 19 over 6. Okay? And how about this one? This one is 3 over 5. It becomes, so the same step, 2 times 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. So it becomes 13 over 5. So now we do the subtraction. So 19 over 6 will be on this side, minus 13 over 5. Okay, so this is just fraction subtraction. So the first step is to find a common denominator. So what can we do is we can just multiply those two numbers. So 6 times 5 for the denominator. And for the rest, we will just have to do cross multiplication. So 19 times 5 minus 13 times 6. Okay, so now we just have to simplify. So what is 19 times 5? So 9 times 5 is 45. And 1 times 5 is 5 plus 4 is 95. So 95 minus, what is 13 times 6? So 3 times 6 is 18. 1 times 6 is 6 plus 1 is 78. So 78 over 6 times 5 is what? Is 30. Okay, so 95 minus 78 is what? So we have 8, 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. So 17. So your answer for part A will be 17 over 30. Okay, so that is your answer. Okay, so now for part B, we have evaluate 0.03 times 0.11. So what I like to do is we can first ignore the decimal place. So we can just do 3 times 11. We will have 33. So now we have to count the decimal place. So here we have 1, 2 decimal place, and here we have 1, 2 decimal place. So 2 decimal place plus 2 decimal place, it is 4 decimal place. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to add 2 zeros here. So your answer will be 0.0033. So we have 4 decimal place on the answer. So 0.0033. So another way to do this question is you can rewrite those numbers down as fractions. So 0.03 is 3 over 100 multiplied by 11 over 100. So you will have 33 divided by, so what is 100 times 100? It will be 10,000. So 10,000. And then we have to do a division. We have 0.0033. So same answer, different method. So question number 2, the paper on a roll is 4.5 meter long. Okay, Mary cuts as many pieces as possible, each of length 60 from the roll. So 4.5 meters equal to how many centimeters? So we know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So what is 4.5 meter? It will be 450 centimeters for the roll of papers. So now she's cutting pieces of length of 60 centimeters. Calculate the number of pieces she obtains. So number of pieces will be the length of the paper roll, which will be 450, divided by the length of each piece will be 60. Divide by 0 cut, then we divide by 6, we will have 1. So 6 times 7 will be 42. So 42. So we have, so 0 is here. So 45, and then 3 remains. 3 will go on this side. So we'll have point, that will be 5, right? Because if 3 remains, we have 0, so 30 divided by 6 will be 5. So your answer will be 7.5 pieces. So we cannot take 0.5 pieces, so your answer will be the integer at the beginning. So the maximum number of pieces that she obtains will be 7 pieces of cloth. So 0.5 is because we cannot count 0.5 as one piece, so we can only take 7 pieces from the paper roll. Okay, so now part B, calculate the length of paper that remains on the roll. So how much paper remains? So as we can see, we took 7 pieces, 0.5 remains, so 0.5 piece remains, right? So what is the length of one piece? So we know that the length of one piece is 60 centimeters, one piece. What is the length of 0.5 piece? So we have to do 0.5 piece times 60, that will be 30 centimeters. So the length of one piece is, of the half piece is 30 centimeters, which equal to the remaining on the roll. So your answer for part B will be 30 centimeters. Question number 3A. Express 32.5% as a fraction in its simplest form. So 32.5 can be rewritten as, so 32 times 2 is 64 plus 1 is 65. So 65 over 2. So we can do it. 32 times 2 will be 64. So we have to plus 1 on top. That will be 65 over 2. So how much is this? How much is 65.5%? It will be 65 half divided by 100%. So it will be 65 over 200. So now we have to simplify this fraction. We can first divide by 5. We will have 1, 3, and 40. So your answer will be 13 over 40 for the simplest form of the fraction. So 13 over 40. Okay, now moving on to part B. Arrange these values in order of size, starting with the smallest. So here's kind of hard to compare because we have decimals and fractions. So what we can do is we can convert every number into a decimal. So you can observe here we have 9 over 25. We can multiply by 4 and by 4. We get 36 over 100, which is 0.36. So now we can compare decimal with decimals. So now we have 7 over 20. If we multiply by 5, we get 100. 20 times 5 is 100. 7 times 5 is 35. So in decimal place, it will be 0.35. So now we can compare every number in terms of decimal. So which number is the smallest? So I can see we have 0.38, 0.36, 0.4 and 0.35. So 0.35 is the smallest, which means 7 over 20 is the smallest. The next one will be 0.36, which is 9 over 25. And the next one will be 0.38. And the largest number will be 0.4 for the largest number. Question number 4, part A. 1 kilogram of tea costs $16. So 1 kilogram of tea costs $16. So we know that 1 kilogram equal to 1,000 gram, which is $16. So we have to find the cost of 300 kilogram. No, 300 grams, sorry. So what is the cost of 300 grams? It will be 16 divided by 1,000 times 300. So that will be 0, 0, cut. So that will be, so let's do 16 times 3 divided by 10. So 16 times 3 divided by 10. What will be the answer? So 16 times 3, we got 6 times 3 is 18. And then 1 times 3 will be 3 plus 1, 48. So 48 divided by 10, it will be 4.8. So your answer for part A will be $4.8 for 300 grams. Okay, now part B. Find the simple interest on $400 for 3 years at 2% per year. So we are earning 2%, which is 2 over 100 per year, times the investment, which is $400. So that will give us $8 per year. So we need to know how much interest he earns on 3 years. So if 1 year is $8, how much he earns in 3 years? It will be 8 times 3, which is $24. So here we just have to find the interest earned, which is $24 for 3 years. Question number 5, part A. Write the number 357.864 correct to 2 significant figures. So we can do this step by step. It's pretty easy. So when you say correct to 2 significant figures, you leave the first 2 and then you look at the third number. You ask yourself, is this number bigger or equal to 5? If the answer is yes, we add 1 to the first 2 numbers. So here we have 7, so it is bigger or equal to 5. Yes, so we add 1 to 35, it will be 36. And the rest after the number will become 0. So write the number correct to 2 significant figures, it will become 360 for part A. Now, part B, estimate. So when you see estimate, it means that you do not need to find the correct value, the exact value of this fraction. It means something that is close enough, correct to the nearest whole number. So we have cube root of 67. So what is the closest number? What is the closest cubic number you know that is close to 67? I know we have 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. So I know that the closest cubic number to 67 is 64. Thus, I would say, okay, let me assume this equals to cube of 64. And then what is, we can just convert this to a whole number. So 1.03 will be 1. So that's your answer for part B. So the top, we will rewrite this as cubic of 64 divided by 1, which is 4 divided by 1. So you estimate for this fraction, it is only an estimate, it will be 4. Because you're not required to find the exact answer, and your answer needs to be correct to the nearest whole number, so it will be 4. Question number 6, we have y is inversely proportional to x, which is equal, so y is inversely proportional to x. So which is y equal to k divided by x. Okay, so that is the equation that is represented by the information. Okay, so given that y is equal to 50 minus 50 when x equal to 3. So we replace those two values in the equation to find the value of k. So y is equal to minus 50 when the value of x is 3. So k is, we have to cross multiply. So k is equal to minus 50 times 3. It will give me minus 150. So the value of k will be minus 150. So now the new equation will be y equal to minus 150 divided by x. So the question now is find the value of y when x is equal to minus 10. So y is equal to 150 divided by, so x is minus 10, so minus 10. We will have, so 0, so minus 15 divided by minus 1 will be 15. So your answer for part C will be y equal to 15. And that's it for the question number 7. Each interior angle of a regular polygon is 171 degrees. Find the number of sides of the polygon. So we have to use a formula here. So we say let n equal to number of sides of polygon. What do we know? We know that the angle of each interior angle is 171. So how do you find the size of the interior angle of a polygon? So we have to use a formula. So we know that n minus 2 times 180 is the sum of all the angles. Okay, so that's the main formula. So now we have the information that each angle is 171. So 171 equal to n minus 2 times 180 divide by n to find the size of each angle. So now we have to simplify. We just cross multiply. So 171n equal to 180 n minus 2. So we expand the brackets. We will have 180n minus 360 equal to 171n. So we send n over here. We send the constant on this side. We will have 180, continue here, 180n minus 171n equal to 360. So 180 minus 171 will be 9n equal to 360. So n equal to 360 divided by 9, and that will become 40. So n is 40. So the number of sides in the polygon is 40. Question number 8, we have part A. Evaluate 2 power 3 minus 2 power 0. So what is 2 power 3? So 2 power 3 is 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And what is 2 power 0? So anything power 0 is 1. So replace back in the equation. So 2 power 3 will be 8 minus 1. It will be 7. So answer part A is 7. Simplify this fraction. So we have 12xy divided by 9x squared. So what is 12? 12 is 3 times 4. So that will be x, y. And what is 9? 9 is 3 times 3xy. So as you can see, so we have x squared here. As you can see, we have 3 common, cut 3. And then we have x and 1 remains. So what remains, we'll have 4y divided by 3x. So that will be your answer for part B. Question number 9. The cumulative frequency graph shows information about the reaction times of 60 people. So in total, we have 60 people. So question part A. Use the graph to estimate the lower quartile. So how do you find the lower quartile? The lower quartile is just, we have to do 1 over 4 times 60. So that will be 1, 5. So lower quartile is the 15th element. Okay. So we have to go on this side to find the 15th people. So we have 10, 12, 14, 15 will be here. So let's draw a straight line until we cut the graph. Okay, so here we go. That's the graph, and then see where it falls on the reaction time. So the lower quartile will be at, so this is 0.15. So that will be, what is 1 square? So we have to find the length of 1 square. So that is 0.1 till 0.1. So for this 1 square, it is actually 0. So let's find the length of this 1 square. So this distance is what? It's 0.2 minus 0.15. So 0.2 minus 0.15. So we have 0, now we have 1, 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5, 0.05. So this distance for 10 square is 0.05. So for 1 square, it will be divided by 10. We will have 0.005. So the length of 1 square is 0.005. So what is this reading here? So this reading right here will be 0.155 plus 0.005. So one more 0 here. It will be 0.155. So your answer part A will be 0.155. Okay. So now moving on to question part B. Estimate the number of people who have reaction times more than 0.2. So So we first have to go to reaction time of 0.2 and draw a vertical line to cut the graph. So we see the line cuts the graph at this point, and the point here. And then the horizontal line cut the graph at 40. So what does this mean? It means that at 40, at the reaction time of 0.2, we have 40 people has reaction time less than 0.2. So how many people has reaction time more than 0.2? So we have to do 60, which is the total number of people, minus 40, we will have 20. So 20 people has reaction time more than 0.2, and that is number 9. Question number 10, we have part A. Write the number in standard form. So we have to count how many zeros we have. So how many decimal places we need to move to get 4.5. So we'll have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So to get to 4.5, we have to move 8 decimal places. So your answer will be 4.5 times 10 to the power of 8. Okay. So now part B, giving your answers in standard form, evaluate this fraction. So we have 1.5 times 10 to the power of 5 divided by 5 times 10 to the power of minus 5. Okay, so we can separate those two. So we can just do 1.5 over 5 multiplied by 10 power 5 divided by 10 power minus 5. Okay, so divide by 5, 1, we get 0.3. So 0.3 times. So when we have a division for indices, it becomes 10 power 5. So we have to minus 5. So 0.3 times 10 to the power of minus become plus. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So your answer in standard form, it will be 3 times 10 to the power of 9. Now is question 11. We have a function f of x is equal to 3 minus x divided by 10. Okay, so find the function f of minus half, which means we have to replace the value of x by minus half. So f of minus half is equal to 3 minus x is minus half divided by 10. So minus become plus, so 3 plus half over 10 become 3.5 over 10. So 3.5 is what? It's 3.5 divided by 10, which is 0.35. So your answer can be a decimal, but if you want to express your answer as a fraction, you can just do, so if you expand this, we will have 3 times 2, 6 plus 1, 7. 7 over 2 divided by 10, it will be 7 over 20. So you can have this as your answer, or you can have this as your answer. Okay, now moving on to part B, we have find the inverse of function f of x. So we know that f of x is equal to 3 minus x over 10. So find the inverse. Inverse is we have to do let y equal to 3 minus x over 10. That's the first step. And then we have to make x subject of formula. Okay, so we can cross multiply. We will have 10y equal to 3 minus x. So if we send x over here and y over here, we will have x equal 3 minus 10y. So now we have x as subject of formula. So thus f inverse of x, so we have to replace the value of y by x. We will have 3 minus 10x, and this is your answer for part B. Question number 12, part A. We have the universal set is equal to numbers from 84 to 96. Okay, so the set P is an even number. The set Q is a multiple of 3. So let's list down the numbers in those sets. So set P is equal to, so it is an even number, so it will be 84, 86, 88, 90, 92, 94, and 96. So the even numbers from the list above. And then the set Q will be a multiple of 3. So we will have to find a multiple of 3. So 84, yes, it is a multiple of 3. So how do I find this? I can just use a trick. I can add 8 plus 4 is 12. So we ask ourselves, is 12 divisible by 3? Yes, so it will be a multiple of 3. And now for 85, no, so that will be not a multiple of 3. Then we have 86, nope, 87, yes. 88, no. 89, no. 90, 91, 92, 93, and 96. So basically, after the first number, we add 3 every single time. Okay, so now for question part A, find the number of this set P union Q, which is the union of these two sets. So let's write down the numbers from the both of those sets. So we got 84, 86, 87, 88, 90, 92, 93, 94, and 96. So those are the numbers in this set. So find the number. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the answer will be 9. Okay, so now part 2. Given that y is inside the universal set, y is a prime number, write down the value of y. Okay, so we know that these numbers are not prime because it is even and this one is a multiple of 3. So these numbers here are not prime. So what is left outside of these numbers? So what do we have? So we have 85, which is not in this set. We have 85, 89, we have 91, 95, and that's it. So we have these 4 numbers which are not in this set. So out of these 4 numbers, which one is prime? So we know that this one is divisible by 5, so it is not prime. This one it is divisible by 5 as well, so it will not be prime. So we have these 2 values remaining. Now we have to test and try. So we realize that this is not prime neither, because if we take 13 times 7, we get 91. So this one is not prime, so the only prime left is this number. So y will be the value of 89. So now part B, we have in the Venn diagram, shade the region represented by A dash intersection B. So what is A dash? A dash is a set outside of A, so outside, and then intersection B will be outside and B, so it will be this part of the Venn diagram. So shade this part, so shade only B but not A, and not the outside as well. So that is your answer for part B. Question number 13. During one day, the temperatures in degrees Celsius was recorded every 2 hours. The 12 results are given below. Okay, so we have -3, -2, -1, and all the way to -2. It will be 12 numbers in the list. So the first thing we need to do is we need to rewrite those numbers down from the smallest to the largest. So in this list, what is the smallest number? So smallest will be -3. And then we'll have -2. So -2, so -2, and then we have -2 again, -2 again, and then we have -1, and then we will have 0, we will have 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 5. Okay, so that is the same numbers, but we have to write them from smallest to the largest. So for these results, part A, find the median. The median is, we have to do 12 plus 1 divided by 2, which is 13 divided by 2, it will be 6.5 element. Right, so what is 6.5? 6.5 is between 6 and 7. So we have to find the average of the 6th element and the 7th element. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is 0 and 7 is 1. So what is the average of 0 and 1? So we have to do 0 plus 1 divided by 2. It will be 1 divided by 2. It will be 0.5. So your answer for part A will be 0.5 degrees Celsius. Now question part B, find the mean. The mean is a sum divided by the number of results, which is 12. Okay, so let's find the sum of every number. So we have minus 3 minus 2, it will be minus 5. Minus 5 minus, so plus minus 2, minus 7. That will be minus 9, minus 10. Okay, that will be the negative numbers, minus 10 on this side. And this side we will have 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 8 will be 18. So here we have minus 10 plus 0 plus 18, which will give us 8. So sum will be 8 divided by 12. We will have, so if we divide by the number 4, we'll have 2 over 3. So your answer, mean will be 2 over 3 for the answer. Okay, so now part C, find the difference between the highest and the lowest of the temperatures. So what is the highest number? Highest is number 5. Okay, so 5 minus lowest temperature is minus 3. So 5 minus minus 3, it will be minus minus become plus. So 5 plus 3 is 8. Difference will be 8. Question number 18, we have in the diagram, triangles APQ, APQ, and ABC, ABC are similar. It is given to us, they are similar. So what does it really mean? It means that their sides are proportional to each other. This is what it means. So BC, so we have BC is parallel to PQ. So we have AP is 4, PB is 2, which is AB will be 6. Okay, so find the length of BC. We have to find BC. So we have to use the fact that these two triangles are similar and find the length of BC. So BC is this length. So we say that BC over AB is equal to the ratio of PQ over AP. So we can only use this because they are similar, and from that we can find the value of BC. So BC is equal to, we have to do PQ, which is 1.8, divided by AP, which is 4, times AB. AB will be 4 plus 2, will be 6. So divide by 2 will be 3. That's not the right answer, isn't it? Oh, right. 2. So 0.9 times 3, we will have 2.7. So the length of BC is 2.7. Okay, so let's write that down. Okay. So from this, we have to find the area of triangle APQ over the area of triangle PB of quadrilateral PBCQ. So we observe that this triangle is actually the area of the big triangle minus the area of the small triangle. So let's first find the ratio of this big triangle and the small triangle, right? So we know that if we compare those two sides, so AB over, so AP will be 4 over AB will be 6. So that's the ratio between within the sides of the two triangle. So that's for the sides. But for the area, we have to square them for the ratios, which means that, so that will be 2, that will be 3, which will be 2 over 3 squares, which will be 4 over 9. So the ratio of the area, so which means area of triangle APQ divided by area of triangle ABC is actually 4 over 9. That's the ratio of the two triangles. So how do you find the area of PBCQ? So this is the area of the big triangle, so area of ABC minus area of APQ. Okay, so that's how you find the area of this one. So now what we can do, let the area of triangle ABC equal to big A. So from this fraction, we get that area of triangle APQ is equal to 4 over 9A. Thus, this is equal to area of ABC is A minus small area will be 4 over 9A, which is equal to 5 over 9A. So area of PBCQ is 5 over 9A. Area of small triangle is 4 over 9A. So we have to find the ratio of the small triangle, which is 4 over 9A, divided by the area of the shape of the quadrilateral PBCQ, which is 5 over 9A. This is equal to 4 over 9A times 9 over 5A. So A, 9, 9. So the answer will be 4 over 5. So answer for part B is 4 divided by 5. Question number 15. So we have triangle A and B. So question number part 1. Describe the single transformation that maps A onto B. So how can we map A onto B? So the size is the same. It will not be enlargement. You can see that the direction has changed. It was facing up, but now it's facing on this side. So this will not be translation. It can only be rotation. So now we have to find the center. So if we draw a straight line from this edge, so we draw a straight line, and this line on the same edge, a straight line, we will see they intersect at this point. So this is the center. And then the angle, you can see that this point became this point. So you see the angle is 90 degrees. So what is the transformation that maps A onto B? So transformation is a rotation through 90 degrees clockwise. So that is your answer. And then center will be 3, 1. That's important as well. Okay, so that is your answer for part A. So now let's move on to part B. So triangle A is mapped onto triangle C. So we have to draw the triangle C, I believe, by an enlargement, center O2, scale factor -2. Okay, so we know that transformation that maps A onto C is an enlargement, center O2. So let's draw the center first. Center 0, 2, so 0, 2 will be here. That's the center of this enlargement. The scale factor, let's write the factor here. Scale factor will be -2. Okay, so how do we draw the other triangle? So let's label the side of the triangle. So this let's label this point A, this is point B, and this is point C. So how can we go from this center to point A? So we have to move 1 to the right and 1 down. So to go to point A from center, we have to move 1 to the right, and down will be -1. So now we have to multiply this by -2 because that is a scale factor to find the image of A. So 1 times -2 will be -2. 1 times -1 times -2 will be 2. So that will be the image of A for the triangle C. So now we have to, same question for point B. How can we move from from center to point B? We have to move 1, 2 to the right and 1 to the bottom. It will become, to the right is positive, so it will become 2 to the right and 1 down, times -2 because this is scale factor for the enlargement. So 2 times -2 will be -4. -1 times -2 will be 2. So that will be your image for B, point B. So point B is this, B dash is this, and then we have to find the last one, which is point C. So how can we move from from the center to point C? So same thing, we move 2 to the right and 1 up. So right will be positive, up will be positive. Times -2, we will have 2 times -2 is -4, and 1 times -2 is -2. So that will be point C. Okay, so now we have to draw the points of A dash, B dash, and C dash. Those are the image points which will be on triangle C. So let's draw the first point. So point A dash is -2, 2. So from the center, we have to move -2, 2. So -2 will be to the left, 1, 2, and 2 is up, 1, 2. So that's the point A dash. Now for B, we have to move -4 and 2. So -4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 1, 2. That's the point B. And the last one is point C. We have to move -4 and -2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That will be the point C. Okay, so now we just have to join the triangle to join the points to find the triangle C. So this will be the points. That will be a triangle C. Okay, so if you join the lines to each other, you will see that they intersect through the center. So this is pretty easy. So what you have to do is to find the distance from center to each point and then times the scale factor to find the image points of triangle C. Question number 16, factorize completely, part A. We have 5 minus 20t squared. So we do see that 5 is common. We take out 5, so 5 is out. And what is left behind? We have 1 minus 4t squared. So now we observe 1 is 1 square, right? And 4 can be 2 square. So we rewrite this as this. So this becomes 5, becomes 1 square minus 2t square. So now we have two square numbers, and the subtraction, we can write this as such. So we can have 1 plus 2t, 1 minus 2t. Because we know that if we have a square minus b square, we have a plus b and a minus b. So we use this and replaces the value of a and b, so it will become just like that. So your answer for part A is this. So now moving on to part B, we have 3y squared minus 2y minus 2xy minus 6x plus 9y. So as you can see, x and x here are common, so we take those two on the side and we take those two on this side. So this 2 will be 3y squared plus 9y, and then we plus, so this 2 will be minus 2xy minus 6x. Okay, so we'll look at those two first. So what is common? We see y is common and then 3 is common. So what is remaining? We will have y plus 3. That will be plus. And what is common with those two? I see that minus is common, and number 2 is common, and x is common. So we will have y plus 3. So now we observe, we have plus minus become minus, so 3y, y plus 3, minus 2x, y plus 3. You see that those two are common, so we take it out, so y plus 3. And what is remaining? This minus this, so 3y minus 2x. So your answer for part B is this. Question number 17. This is a circles question. So in the diagram, the points A, B, C, D, and E lie on the circle center O. So we have points A, B, C, D, E, and center O. Okay. So we can see that this is the radius and this is the radius. So these two will be equal. Right. Okay, moving on to question number A. So we have to find the angle CDA. So CDA will be this angle. So how do you find this angle? So you can observe that AD is the diameter of the circle, which means if we have a triangle ACD, so AD is the diameter, this angle will be right angle. So this big angle is 90, the small one inside is 70, which means the small one here will be 20. If that makes sense, that will be 20. That's okay, but the point is we have to find this one. So if we know this big one is, so let's take it out to have understanding. So we have AD, and this is the triangle on top of the diameter. So this is ADC. We know this is 33, and we know that this is 90 because this is the diameter and this is the angle above the diameter. It will be 90. So we have to find the A angle D. So we know the sum of angles in a triangle is 180. So we have to find this one. So we have to minus 90 equal to 90 minus 33 to find angle D. So angle D is equal, that'll be 8, 10. 10 minus 3, it will be 7. 8 minus 3 is 5. Okay. So angle D will be 57 degrees. So the first answer, CDA, is 57 degrees. Okay. So moving on to the next part B, find the angle DEC. So DEC, find this angle. So you can observe that angle DEC is on the arc CD. And we also have the angle CAD on the arc AC as well. So angle on the same arc are equal. So thus, by deduction, we have angle 33 equal to angle, so 33 equal to angle DEC. So that is your answer for part B, 33 degrees. So now part C, find angle ABC. So we have ABC. We have to find this angle. So what can we do is we can take, you can observe we have ABCD. It's a quadrilateral with points touching the surface of the circle. So let's take it out. We will find the answer. So that's the point B, that's the point C, that's the point D, and that's the point A. Okay, so we have point A, B, C, D. So we know the angle D is equal to 57 from this section. So 57. So we need to find this angle. So we observe that this is a quadrilateral, which means it has 4 sides, and these two angles are opposite each other. So we use a rule. It says that if the angle is opposite with each other and each point it touches the circumference of a circle, then the sum of these two is 180. So 57 plus angle B is 180. So find angle B, it will be 180 minus 57. So it will be 8, 7, 10, minus 3, minus 7 will be 3. 7 minus 5 is 2, so 1. So angle B will be 123. And the last question, part D, find the reflex angle EOA. So angle E is here, O is here, A is here. So first thing is, what is a reflex angle? So a reflex angle is angle larger than 180 but less than 360. Okay, so which means it needs to be this angle, AOA. Okay, so we observe that this angle here, so we know this is 90, so this will be what? This will be 20, because this is 70, so 90 minus 70, this will be 20. Okay, so we know this is AB as a horizontal line, which means the angle on top will be 180. We have to find the size of this angle. So how do we find this angle? So we see that this is angle at center, and we have arc DE. We also observe that this is angle at circumference, but it is also on the arc DE. So we have to use a rule based on that. So the rule is angle at center is 2 times angle at circumference. Okay, so since they are both on the same arc, we can use this rule. So we have to find the angle at center equal to 2 times angle at circumference. So the angle at circumference is 20. So that will be 2 times 20 is 40 degrees. So thus the size of this angle is 40. And what is the size of this big angle? It will be 40 plus 180. So reflex angle EOA is 180 plus 40. It will equal to 220. And that is your answer for part D, 220 degrees. Question number 18, we have solve these simultaneous equations. We have 2x plus 5y equal to 2, and we have 3x plus 4y equal to minus 4. So since the coefficients of x and y are different on both sides, what we can do, we observe that here we have 2x and here we have 3x. So we will multiply, cross multiply. So for the top, we will multiply by 3. For the bottom, we will multiply by 2. So what we will get? So 2 times 3 is 6x plus 5 times 3 is 15y equal to 6. And here, 3 times 2 will be 6x plus 4 times 2 will be 8y, and we have minus 4 times 2 will be minus 8. Okay, so we have these two equations. What can we do now? We can just minus the two equations. So 6x minus 6x will be 0x plus 15y minus 8y will be 7y, and then 6 minus 8, so 6 minus 8, minus is plus, so 6 plus 8 is 14. Okay, so what do we have here? We have 7y equal to 14. So y equal to 14 divided by 7, which is 2. That is your answer for y. So find the value of x. So we have to replace y in the function, in the equation. So we know that 6x plus 15y equal to 6. So the value of y is 2. So 6x plus 15 times 2 equal to 6. So 6x equal to 6 minus, so what is 15 times 2? 15 times 2 is 30. If we send this on this side, it was plus here, so on this side will be minus 30. So 6x equal to we have 6 minus 30, it will be minus 24. So 6x equal to minus 24. So x equal to minus 24 divided by 6, which is equal to minus 4. So your answer will be x equal to minus 4 and y equal to 2. That was solved by using the elimination method. You can also solve this by substitution, but this time elimination was much easier. Question number 19. So we have this graph, and we have point O, we have point R. Okay, so let's find out. So we have the vectors A, B. So A is in this direction. It is 1 square to the left and 2 square down. So A is equal to 1 square to the left and 2 square down. And B is 2 square to the right. So B is 2 square to the right and 0 up or down. Okay. So now part A, given that OP is 2A, mark and label point P on the graph. So what is the value of 2A? So 2A we have to do 2 times A. So 2A will be, so minus 2 and minus 4. So 2A will be, minus 2 will be 1, 2, and minus 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be this point. That will be the point P. Okay, and now we have to find the point Q. Point OQ is the point 2B minus A. So we know 2B, we know B is 2, 0. So 2B is 4, 0. So we have to find 2B minus A, which is 4, 0 minus A will be minus 1 minus 2, which is equal to, so 4 minus minus 1 is 5, and 0 minus minus 2 is 2. So the point OQ is 5, 2. Okay, 5, 2 will be from this point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. It will be here. That's the point Q. Okay, and the last part is express OR in terms of A and B. So what is OR? OR is 1, 2, 3 to the left and 2 to the top. So OR equal to 3 to the left and 2 the top. So how can we derive this from this? As you can see, we will have A. A is the vector minus 1, minus 2, plus vector B will be 2, 0. It needs to become minus 3 and 2. Okay. So how can we make, we need to know by what can we multiply, so let's call this x and y. So we have to multiply this by some number to obtain minus 3, and this by some number to obtain 2. So we have two equations here. We have minus x plus 2y equal to minus 3, right? And then we have minus 2x equal to 2, which means x equal to minus 1. And we replace the value of x in here. We have minus 1 plus 2y equal to minus 3. So 2y will be minus 3 plus 1 will be minus 2. So y is minus 1. So if you replace the value of minus 1 and so minus 1 and minus 1, so we will have OR is equal to minus A minus B. That is the answer that I have for OR. Question number 20. The diagram shows the quadrilateral ABCD. So that's ABCD. Okay. So question number 1, measure DCB, which will be this angle, DCB, this angle. So I used my tool and I measured 127. So you could be having 125, 128, and that is okay as well. So now moving on to part B, construct the locus of points inside the ABCD that are 8 centimeters from B. Okay, so we first have to measure 8 centimeters from your ruler, and you have to draw from the point B. So that's your ruler here, and using your compass, find 8 centimeters. It will be about this distance. Okay, so now we go to point from point B. So we go to point B and we draw an arc inside of this quadrilateral. So there we go. So this will be the answer for part 1. Okay, now moving on to part 2, we have to construct the locus of points inside ABCD that are 5 centimeters from AB. So AB is a straight line. We have to draw the locus of points that are 5 centimeters from the line AB. It will be another line which is parallel to AB, which is 5 centimeters from AB. So the way to do this is pretty easy. I will use a ruler and measure the length. So distance from A, from this point, let's say point A, a straight line will be 5 centimeters. We have to make a mark here, and then distance from B, a straight line, it will be 5 as well. So we just have to join the 2 points that we made, but it needs to be inside ABCD. Okay, so this is the locus for the question number 2. So now these two loci meet at point P, so they meet at point P, which is this point. That's the point P. Mark and label point P and measure distance PD. So what is the distance PD? So for me, I got 2.5. So you may also get 2.6, 2.4, and that should be okay. So this one was pretty easy. We just have to draw an arc and a straight line parallel to AB to find the 2 locus and find the point of intersection and measure this 2 distance to find answer for part 3. Question number 21. This is a matrix question. So we have A equal to this matrix. Now we have to do evaluate 3A minus 2 this matrix. So let's replace the value of A by the matrix. So we'll have 3 times A, which is 2, 1, minus 1, 3. Minus, so let's bring 2 inside. So 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times minus 2 is minus 4. And 2 times 0 is 0. So same thing for this side. Let's bring 3 inside. So 3 times 2 will be 6. Minus 1 times 3 will be minus 3. 3 times 1 is 3 and 9. Minus 6 minus 4, 2, 0. Equal to 6 minus 6 is 0. Minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5. 3 minus 4 is 7. 9 minus 0 is 9. So your answer for part A will be 0 minus 5, 7, 9. Okay, so now for part B, we have to find A inverse. So how do you find A inverse? So we know A inverse equal to 1 over determinant of A times adjacent matrix of A. So what is the determinant of A? Determinant of A is equal to, so let's write down the matrix of A first. A is 2, 1, minus 1, 3. So for determinant of A, we have to do 2 times 3. So 2 times 3 minus 1 times minus 1. So this will be 6 minus 1 will be 7. Okay, now for adjacent matrix of A, so A is given by this matrix. So adjacent matrix of A is, we have to switch sides of those two. So 3 goes up, become 3. 2 goes down, become 2. And then we have to switch the sign of those two numbers. So minus 1 become 1, and 1 becomes minus 1. So using this formula, we have A inverse equal to 1 over determinant is 7 times the adjacent matrix will be 3 minus 1, 1, 2. And that is your answer for A inverse. So now the last one, write down the single matrix that is equivalent to A inverse times A. So A inverse times A is equal to the identity matrix, which is 1, 0, 0, 1. So your answer will be 1, 0, 0, 1. Question number 22. The diagram shows the speed time graph of part of a car's journey. So this is a speed time graph. Question number 4A. Find the speed when time is equal to 8. So time equal to 8 will be about here, 8. So find the speed of the car. So the first thing we can do is we can do a comparison. So let's say that was a triangle. The base of the triangle was 10. So 0 to 10 will be 10. So when the base is 10, the height will be 12 minus 4 is 8. So now, if the base now is 8, what is the height? Right, let's find the height x. So we know that if the base is 10, so if the base we know that if the base is 10, the height is 8. So if the base is 8, what is the height? So find the value of x. So cross multiply, we will have x equal to 64 divided by 10, which will be 6.4. So the height will be 6.4. So now the speed will be 6.4 plus 4. So speed at t equal to 8 is 6.4, which is this height, and we have to plus this height to find this value. Plus 4 will be 10.4 meters per second square. Okay, so 10.4 will be here. So now part B, find the distance traveled by the car from time 0 to time 10. So distance traveled So when you have a speed time graph, the distance traveled is always equal to the area and the graph. Okay, so here we observe area on the graph is area of a trapezium. So we have one side and two sides. So this length here is 12. So 12. And this length here is 4. So 4, 12, and height in between will be 10. Okay. So area of trapezium will be half times sum of both sides. We'll have side 1, which is 12. 12, and side 2, which is 4, so plus 4, times height in between, it is 0 to 10, will be 10. Okay, so now we have to simplify. We will have, so what is 12 plus 4 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 8 times 10 is 80. So part B is 80 meters. So the last question is, on the diagram below, sketch the distance time graph for t equal to 0 and t equal to 15. So we know that at time 0, it was at position 0, right? And then at time 15, at time 10, the distance traveled was 80. So time 10 will be 80. Okay, so now let's find the distance traveled at time 15. So what is the area of this rectangle? This is will be 5, and the height will be so 12. So the area on the graph will be 12 times 5. So 12 times 5 is 60. So the distance traveled between 10 to 15 is 60. So the distance traveled from 0 to 10 is, we have this 80. So the total distance traveled from 0 to 15 is what? Is 80 plus 60, that would be 140. So we know at time 15, we have traveled a distance of 140. So time 15, distance travel is 140. Will be about here, 140 for distance travel. So now, before we draw the line, we have to know the gradient of this graph. So the gradient of the graph is actually the speed, right? So as you can see, from time equal to 10 to time equal to 15, the speed is constant, which means that from time 10 to 15, the gradient is constant, which means it is a straight line. So for this and that, for this distance to this distance, it will be a straight line joining those 2 points. But what about the line joining 0 to this point? So we have to look at the speed. As you can see, for the journey from 0 to 10, the speed was increasing, which means the gradient was increasing. It was not constant. So it will not be a straight line, it will be increasing. So how can we make sure how can we draw an increasing gradient? So let's say if I draw a curve like this and a curve like this, so which one has an increasing gradient? Let's say I choose a point here. It will be this slope. If I choose a point here, it will have this slope. If I choose a point here, it will have this slope. So for the line of this shape, it shows to be a decreasing gradient, which means decreasing speed. But for a line of this shape, it seems the gradient is increasing, which means the speed is increasing. So from 0 to 10, it needs to be increasing speed. So on this drawing here, we will have to connect 0 and this point by increasing gradient. So yeah, here we go. That will be the graph of this car for the journey from 0 to 15. Question number 23. The diagram shows a sequence of triangles made up of sticks. Each triangle has 2 more sticks on the edge than the previous one. Okay, it's pretty easy. So we have triangle 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of sticks on each side has 1, 3, 5. So question number 1, part A. Complete the column for triangle 4. So number of sticks on each side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. And number of sticks on the triangle. So 7 times 3 will be 21. Okay, that was part A. Part B. Find an expression in terms of n for x. X is this. X is the number of sticks on each side. So as you can see, for every term, the value of x is increasing by +2. Okay, so we will have to write 2n. So what do we know? We know that the first term is equal to 1. So 1, 1, right? If we replace the value of n, which is the first term, what do we get? We get 2 times 1 is 2, which is not the correct answer. So by how much we need to change 2 to get 1? We need to do 2 minus 1 to get 1. Thus, the n term we have to minus 1. So B will be 2n minus 1. So now part C, find an expression in terms of n for y. Y is the number of sticks in the triangle. So you will see that we use the same step to find y. So the first term is 3, second term is 9, third term is 5, fourth term is 21. So what is really common? What is happening here for the y? Let's observe. So as you can see, we can see that the number of sticks and this we have to multiply by 3. So 7 times 3, 5 times 3, 3 times 3, 1 times 3, right? So if we want to find y, we have to do x times 3. So just like every previous sequence, so if x to become y, we have to times 3. So 3 times x will be 3, 2n minus 1, that will be 6n minus 3. So y equal to 6n minus 3. So now for part D, the total number of sticks in the first triangle is 3, so 3. And the total number of sticks in the first two triangles is 3 plus 9 is 12. And in the first 3, so 3 plus 9 plus 15 will be 27. So write down the total number of sticks in the first 4 triangles. So here is 27. We have to plus 21, which will be 48. So that is your answer for part 1. So now, find an expression in terms of n for the total number of sticks in the first n triangles. So let's write down the information again so we understand this new sequence. So in term 1, we have 3. Term 2, we have 12. In term 3, we have 27. In term 4, we have 48. So we need to find in term n, what do we have here? So for this question, I would say it's pretty hard to know at first glance. You need to have practice and really try out to see what can be found. So you will see that 3, 12, 27, 48, they are all multiples of 3. So what we can do is we can take 3 out. Let's take 3 out. What do we have? We have 1, we have 4, we have 9, we have 16. So what can you see? 1 is what? 1 is square of 1. 2 is square of 2. 9 is square of 3. And 4 is square of 2. Which means that n will be square of n. So but 3 is out, so we have to put this back in. It will become 3n squared. So your answer for part 2 will be 3n squared for the expression in terms of n for the first n triangles. Question number 24, we have A is a 0.52 and B is a 0.96. So 52, 96. AC is parallel to the x-axis and CB is parallel to the y-axis. So these two are parallel and these two are parallel. Okay, great. So the equation of the line AB is x minus y is equal to 3. So find the coordinates of C. So as you can see, we have the point B. The point B is what? The point B is 9, 6, and the point A is 5, 2, which means the x coordinate of A is 5, and the x coordinate of B will be 9, and the y coordinate of A is 2. So what is the point C? The point C is 9, 2. So from this graph, so 9, 2 will be the point C. Okay, so now question part B. The region inside the triangle ABC is defined by 3 inequalities. Write these down. So it's pretty easy. So we have the equation of the line here will be x minus y is 3. The equation of this line will be y equal to 2. And of this line will be x equal to 9. So we can observe that for the inequality, the values are less than 9, so it will be x less than 9. And for this line, it will be below the line, so it will be x minus y less than 3. And for the last one, we have y equal to 2. It will be above that, so it will be y bigger than 2. Okay, so that is for part B. And now for part C, the points A and B are integers, okay, and they lie inside the triangle ABC. It also lies on the line y equal to half x. So for this question, we have a few methods to do this, but I will do the one where we can actually visualize exactly what's happening. So let's draw the points out here. So here is 5 to 9. So 5 to 9, let's move 5. So let's say this is 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So 5. To 9. Okay. So now point C will be from 2 to 6. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so joining those two. So this is the line x minus y equal to 3. Okay, so this is your point B, this is your point A, and this is your point C. So if you draw it like a graph, so let's see, this will be a straight line, this will be a straight line as well. Okay, so as you can observe, we only have, so these points intersect here, 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 and here. So how many points we have inside of the triangle ABC? So we only have this point, and this point, which are inside the triangle ABC. So what is this point? This point is 0.7, 3. This one is 8, 3, and last one will be 8, 4. So we only have 4 points with integers coordinates inside the triangle ABC. So now we also need to find, there's one more condition. It says the point also lies on this line. So out of these 3 points, we have 3 points. So 7, 3, 8, 3, and 8, 4. So out of these 3 points, we have to find which one passes through the line y equal to half. So this is x and y coordinate, x and y coordinate, x and y coordinate. So we have to replace the value of x and see if it equals to the y coordinate. So y will be half times x is 7, which is 3.5. So does 3.5 equal to 3? No, so this one is not good. So now y equal to half times x is 8 equal to 4. Does this equal to 3? No, so not good. And the last one, so half equal to y equal to half times 8 equal to 4. So equal to 4, which means this is the coordinate of the point that passes through the line y equal to half x. So thus, the value of a and b will be, so the value of a will be 8, and the value of b is 4. So this method was used to visualize this triangle, and hence you can have a look and determine which points we have inside of the triangle, and then find which one goes on the line y equal to